All right, in this one we're gonna use ChatGPT to model some elliptical orbits, and I've already gotten started a little bit. I'm gonna show you where we're at. Oh, I was just processing a screenshot there for the clip for the thumbnail, and what we've got here is the result of the first run, and let me show you what the scripting looks like. So that's where we're at. We generated this code just from a brief conversation with ChatGPT, and it did throw a little error, but it also did draw the orbit that we wanted. So the conversation went like this. I basically said, hey, I want to make a Blender add-on that helps me model elliptical orbits. I want to model, want to enter the orbital parameters of the scale factor, um, and I want to animate planets on the path, but I want the speeds to be accurate, which means faster when we're closer to the central body. And to give some thoughts. Then it gave me kind of an outline of what to do, and I said, "Yeah, go ahead and write some code for that." And this is our first iteration of that code. So I essentially just copied and pasted that into Blender. Let's see. Then, yeah, I wanted that as a standalone script also because I started wanting it as an add-on, but want that as a standalone script, just so I can not have to install it in Blender and all that extra stuff. I'm fine with just working with it here in the scripting workflow. So, all right, let's delete everything except the default cube. We'll take and make that default cube just a little bit smaller. That'll be our central body. We're going to orbit that default cube. I'm going to run this script by going to text, run script. I do see this report of an error, even though so I'm running the same script that I ran a minute ago before I started the stream. And we have problems in line 68 and 54. Let's see. Now, I'm not really clear on what that means. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and copy this from the log, go back to ChatGPT, and say, we have an error. There we go. Paste that in. Let's see what it comes back with. So it's realized there's a little problem. So it's going through and modifying its own code. It's looking through. And we've seen a few little changes here. So as far as coding goes, I'm not I'm not an expert. I know enough to be dangerous. And that's kind of all you need to know these days, where you literally can copy and paste stuff, try it, and if it throws an error, just tell ChatGPT what happened. So let's do that. I pasted that back in. That's a little bit different, and it's embarrassing that I don't do a deeper analysis. But that's the world we live in. So let's try it now. Script ran with no errors. Now let's see if we get playback. I'm gonna take and split this, get myself let's get myself a timeline. Still not seeing animation. Let's tell ChatGPT. I was saying it's not animating. Is the next step. Yeah. So it's saying it looks like it's not playing because follow path needs path use path set to true and it needs to be evaluated properly. So we're doing some more modifications here. I imagine this will be a little longer. Well, maybe not. We might just be flipping a bit. Yeah, just a little longer. Okay, so they updated the script. And let's see how that goes. Oh, that's weird. The planet was a little offset that time, but that's something I can probably just fix. Oh, we got some more errors here. So in 79 and 70, we have an invalid argument. Once more, we'll copy that error, go back to ChatGPT and say, oops, another error. So it figured out what the issue was, and now it's just running through to fix it. And it says it's fixing the issue by setting offset factor before calling frame insert. That makes sense in a way that I don't feel like I can explain. But let's see where we're at now. Oops. Sure I'm doing the right. Copy this. Select all this. Paste that. Yeah, it's probably fine. Run the script. Did that work? Okay. That worked. Something worked. I still don't think that looked like it was constant speed. We have an offset that should go faster as it gets to this side, and it should be slower over here. But I'm not seeing a big difference. We should see it kind of go like this. Also, we have these offsets. I think those offsets can be fixed just manually. If I go over here to the object properties, set the location to 0, that'll zero it back on to its position on the path. Also note that it's tidally locked currently. And the nice thing about having an empty is that if I want that planet to spin on its own axis, it's a child of the empty. So I could still do that. Okay, so I would say that's working, except the orbital speed does not look Keplerian. And we have those offsets. So I'm going to tell it, actually, let's go up in the code here. Number of frames is fine. Oh, that's something I might increase the number of points. Oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter because we're about to do more copy and paste. Let's see. I'm going to check the status of the stream here just briefly. I guess I can do that on my phone. Alright, looks like it's working. Great. Okay. All right. So all right, let's tell ChatGPT what's going on, except I want to see if I can find out where those positions are getting set and offset. No, it's right in here, I think. All right. All right, you know, those offsets are not a big issue. I'm really more concerned about the orbital speed. Okay, so it's asking how it's working. So I'm going to say the animation works, but the planetary motion is not Keplerian. It is. It appears to be moving at a constant speed. Okay, so we're kind of building this up, I guess, and that's not always how ChatGPT works, but it's kind of working that way this time. So it basically didn't do that feature yet. So what it's explaining is that it's going to make keyframes along the path, which will help the planet know exactly where to be along the path. So the script now calculates Keplerian motion using the mean anomaly, conversion to true anomaly, ensuring the planet moves faster when closer to the focus. Instead of using a follow path, the empty object is keyframed directly. Okay, that's going to be interesting. That's actually going to be a problem because of that offset. But let's see what we get. Right. Oh, well, that is interesting. It didn't. Okay, so the offset is only a problem for the planet. Ooh, okay. It's not even a big problem. We can just go over here, set its location to 0. We're back on the spot where we need to be. Yeah, that might be good enough. Let's check it out. Oh, yeah. That's wonderful. Right. So we're only working this in the XY coordinate. I suppose I could... Well, actually, it's being keyframed directly. So the orbit is really just there to give us something to look at. That's pretty good. Let's see if we can improve this now. So I want a 3D orbital situation. I want to be able to have an inclination and all that stuff. So let's ask about additional orbital elements. So that's working now. How about additional orbital elements? Comma, and will resulting motion be calculated in 3 dimensions. So there's our other elements. We need our inclination, longitude of ascending node, argument of periapsis, and so those are now being added at the top. And that's polite. We can use degrees. Or I could just directly give it radians. That's a conversion factor. If I took this out, I could do radians if I preferred. All right. It's a little bit longer, a few more lines longer. Let's copy that. And let's drop that in. We've gotten rid of those objects. So let's run this script. Oh boy. Oh, something wild has happened to the that's something funny happened to the orbit. So the orbit line is a total scribble. But our planetary motion is looking okay. Let's see, we fixed the offset. I'm gonna get rid of that for a minute. All right, and so how do I explain what happened to this? Just could say the orbit looks really scrambled. All right. The motion looks good, but the planet... No, so I'm still not going to talk about the planet yet, but the orbit line looks scrambled. is if rotated about an axis many times as it was drawn. Planet also has a small offset from the empty. I can fix it by setting its X position to 0 in object properties. Let's see what it comes back with now. All right, so it's looks like it's got a plan for both of these, and it's implementing those, updating the script. Well, let's see how it goes. Gonna get rid of that squiggle. See what we got here. Yeah. Run that script. Hey. Wow. Those are fixed. I'll bet you that runs good. Wow, cool. All right. Now, let's do a test. I want to see if I can run this again. We'll do a 0 inclination. We'll do a... These arguments don't actually matter if I'm a 0 inclination. Let's have a smaller eccentricity of 0.1. Smaller semi-major axis. And I think this is going to be an issue, because I still need to calculate, like for a multiple planet system, I need to calculate between different orbits. So now let's talk about multiple orbits. And it might be convenient to do like a CSV kind of situation here, where I give it a set of parameters in another text file, and it iterates through those to do all the orbits. Let's see if we can get it to do that. But that's really nice. Very cool. Watch that. 1 for just a minute. Should have its slowest point here and its fastest point here. Yeah. Okay, awesome. It's kind of mesmerizing for me, but I enjoy orbital dynamics. Let's talk to ChatGPT some more. Okay, okay. Okay, that's working great. Gotta make sure it knows it's doing a good job. Now, I would like to do this for multiple planets. I can give comma-separated values another text file. All the planets need to have speeds relative to one another. We'll see what that comes back with. You know what, let's stop that, and instead of a text file, let's have it... Let's have it... Well, bummer. I've reached the limit of messages because I haven't been paying them. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to end the stream there, and I'll go ahead and start paying ChatGPT. But I'm not going to show you my payment details. So we did get a good orbit out of that script. Just took a little bit of conversation. And I'm really quite happy with that. Let me change that back to the more eccentric orbit. Something more crazy like a 0.5. Goes slower there, faster there. Just what we need. So yeah, I'll get ChatGPT paid, and we'll have a little bit more fun here in some upcoming streams. So hope that y'all are having a good one, and you take her easy.